Can you tell us about any businesses and other passions that you may have?
Yes, ma'am. I have a consulting firm.
Wow.
Embassy consulting firm. I just bring people together, find out what it is they want to do. I bring people together. I used to be in real estate, bringing people together, finding homes, getting with the builders, and so I've done that, for a while too. And also an author. My upcoming book. We're excited about it.
Yes. Yes.
We're excited about it. I wrote a book. Yeah, I wrote a book. People may not believe I wrote a book some years ago and misplaced it.
Oh, wow.
And it was so profound. And so going through the training to be a life coach, that was something that my mentor told me, you need to get some material. And so that's what prompted me to write this new book that's coming out, The Power of a Successful Marriage.
Yes.
The Power of a Successful Marriage. I didn't say a perfect marriage, but a successful marriage. Because people are looking for perfection. And so I tell folk all the time, me and my wife, we live in a glass house.
Yes.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And God have the bloops and the blunders. Through going through those things, God have put this book in my spirit, The Power of a Successful Marriage.
And when you say power of successful marriage, I think of a healthy marriage.
That's right. That's right.
And it's healthy to have some disagreements.
Yes,
it's
indeed.
healthy to walk through some individual things and collectively and because we are individuals.
That's right. That's
so can you give us some insight about that?
Can I share?
You sure can.
I know some years ago, Apostle and I were counseling a couple, and the Lord prompted my spirit on how when you come into marriage, you come in really blind. But the prompting was that you have two individuals in marriage, and they come from two totally different backgrounds. That's
yes,
right.
Indeed.
And so here you are over here, you were brought up with just everything.
Yes.
And then you have a spouse that's over here and they didn't have what you had.
Right.
And so you come into the marriage and you have this beautiful attitude, whereas this person might be disgruntled a lot because of what they went through. So you have those two personalities and you're trying to bring them into one.
Yes.
And so sometimes it's such a tug of war, such a pull, because you don't really realize what's going on. You have two different personalities, two different people from two different backgrounds.
Yes.
And you're trying to bring them into one. Without the Lord, you cannot do it.
Yes.
You just cannot do it if you don't have God on the inside of your marriage or if you're not saved.
Yes.
And so that's one thing that couples really need to pay attention to or know, that you just from two backgrounds. And it's not a bad thing.
Yes.
It's not a bad thing, because you're from backgrounds. You just got to learn how to work together. So you got two imperfect people trying to come together to to have a relationship.
Yes. Yes. You want to share anything but piggyback?
Yes, I know he does.
Yeah, as she was talking, one of the chapters in my book is the two become one.
Oh.
Not the two are one, the two become one. And so a lot of times it's the process of becoming. And as you become, you're going to see things about your mate that you don't like.
Come on.
You're going to see things that you thought you was healed from. It's going to come up. That's the power of becoming. And we make that to be so negative. And another chapter in the book talks about you need to know your mate in the winter, spring, summer, and fall.
Come on now.
You need to know them in the winter, spring, summer, and fall. And I encourage people, don't ever marry somebody in a summer season. Don't ever marry somebody in a winter season, because those are the fun-loving seasons.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so me and my wife, we married in a winter season because I didn't have anything. She was in her own apartment. I didn't have anything. And so it shows the real love. It shows the real love.
Yes.
And so a lot of times we all excited. We don't understand the honeymoon stage. And so when you get to know that person in all seasons of their life, you get to see them when they're upset, when they're angry. You need to find out what pushed their buttons. And then you can ask yourself, do I want to invest in this? Do I want to be a part of it?
Right.
Oh, that's so good.
But if you never get to know them in all the seasons, you're going to wait and say, what did I marry?
Yes.
What did I connect myself to?
Wake up and say, oh.
Yes. And so we believe in teaching the people, and even in that book, it talks about what you need to know before you say I do.
Right.
And sometimes people, they get married and they don't have these counseling sessions.
Yes.
To as my wife was talking earlier, sometimes people come in for marital counseling, but sometimes it need to be individual counseling
yes.
because people, their souls are not healed.
Yes.
They're not healed from the trauma, from the tragedy.
Yes.
But in that book, when it comes out, when it's released,
Yes.
you're going to find helpful tools to know how to handle trauma, trouble in marriage, and you're going to find out what you need to know before you say I do.
Wow.